We are soon getting to the end of building this phenomenal application. Let me show you the finished version so that you can see that they basically look the same. The only thing that we can see right now is this featured movie card at the top. So we have to implement that, and then the next final change is going to be implementing Alan AI. You can see the Alan button on the bottom right corner. So what can Alan do? Well, let's ask him. What can you do?
This is Filmpire, an app where you can find the movies you love. Try saying, go to comedy, surprise me, search for Superman, make it dark, or log in.
Okay, quite a lot of things. So let's try with surprise me.
Sounds good. Enjoy some Western movies.
Okay, westerns, not bad. Let's try with light mode.
Ah, my eyes hurt. Looks good though. I hope you like it.
Okay, that was good. Let's try with go to comedy.
Going to comedy category.
That works as well. Let's try searching for a movie. Search for Superman.
Searching for Superman.
That works as well, and it is instantaneous. Great. As you can see, we're going to implement most of our app's functionality through voice. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We can start by going to Alan.app. And by the way, this is not a sponsored video at all. I've done a video before for them, and I just figured that their technology could be an amazing addition to our Filmpire application. So with that said, how does it actually work? Well, let's click sign in on the top right corner. And in here, you can sign up or sign in with Google, GitHub, or just your regular email. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Google. And once you sign in, you should be greeted with your dashboard or a projects page that looks something like this. As you can see, I've created a few applications so far, like the Newsreader application and the Filmpire application. On the top right corner, you'll see that you have a few free interactions. Usually, the application is completely free, but you have to pay for specific interactions with Alan. We should have more than enough free interactions for all of our testing purposes. But Alan AI team was kind enough to give you guys 2,500 more free interactions just so we can test this application out. So you can go to free interactions right here and then click apply promo code. Then you can simply paste JS Mastery. Once you click apply, you should get 2,500 more free interactions, which is again, as I've said, going to be so much more than enough for this project. Great. Once you have them, you can go back to our project and then we can create a new voice assistant. If you want to play with Alan a bit, you can go to Hello World or some other Alan integrations, but in this case, we're going to start with an empty project. And we can name it something like Filmpire. In this case, I'm going to do Filmpire JSM. This is the place where you can write the code to interact with Alan, and on the right side, you can test it out right here. So how this works is you can create different intents, and then Alan is going to answer. So let's try with Hello World. On the bottom right corner, you can click Hello World.
Hello.
And Alan replied, as you could see that, even though we didn't specifically say Hello World. So this is great. Another phenomenal thing with Alan is that it's done completely in JavaScript. So all the code that we're going to write here is going to be nothing more than just JavaScript and some of their special syntax. So how is our Alan code going to look like for this project? Let me show you. This here is the finished version. I've compiled an array of all of our categories so that Alan can know which one to go to. Then below that, we have a question. What can this app do? What can I do here? And then Alan is going to answer with something. And then below that, we have specific commands for going to a specific genre, searching for a movie, certain Easter eggs, like if you say it's Halloween, it's going to switch to horror. And we have a few more of these calls. So let's go ahead now and implement them on our own. I'm going to copy this array, and you'll be able to find it and copy it just below this lecture. So copy these genres and paste them at the top of this file. Once you do that, we can start with writing our first command. we can say intent, and then right here, we can provide our intent, meaning what are we going to say that Alan is going to pick up. In this case, we can add an array of sentences and we can say, what does this app do? Then we can say comma. In here, we have a callback function that looks like this. And inside of that callback function, we're going to get p as a first parameter. I'm not exactly sure what p stands for, but that's how they're calling it in their documentation, and that's how we're going to call it as well. So now inside of here, you can write specific responses from Alan to our intent. We can say p.play, and then in here, we can say this is Filmpire, comma, an app where you can find the movies you love. We can turn this into a template string so they can pull it into a new line. And then just below that, we can say something like try saying. Let's do something like go to comedy, surprise me, search for Superman, make it dark, and then finally log in. Great. And this is where we're going to end our string. So now if you save that with Control S, or if you click at the bottom left of your screen, you should see saved, and you can click this button. What does this app do?
This is Filmpire, an app where you can find the movies you love. Try saying, go to comedy, surprise me, search for Superman, make it dark, log in.
There we go. You heard it. Alan just replied. Now, you're not sure that person is going to say, what does this app do? So in here, we can say a comma. What can I do here? That's going to be the second question. And the third one, what is this app about? So now if you ask any other of these two questions, Alan will be able to respond as well. Also, under the list of all the genres, make sure that you have these stringified genres. We didn't have them at the start, but I gave them to you in the starting code where we copied this. So now if you copied everything correctly, we should be on the same page. Basically, in this line, we're just going through the genres and then taking the name, making it lowercase, and then joining everything in one string. Great. Now that we have that, we can add a few other intents. But this was the simplest intent. The other intents will actually interact with our React code and change something on our website. As you've noticed, we can tell Alan to log in, to change the mode to dark mode, and so on. So how is that going to work? Well, we can first try with making it dark or making it light. These are going to be the simplest commands. So right here, we can say intent, which is a function that accepts a string as a first parameter. That's going to be make it dark. As the second parameter, we get that p object, and we can call our callback function, and we can say something like p.play, and let's do Batman likes this. I hope you will as well. There we go. And here's the key thing. We're going to add one more command called p.play, but this time we're not going to pass in a string, we're going to pass in an object. And in here, you can say command is equal to change mode and provide the mode which is going to be set to dark. Great. So as you can see, we're saying something and also initiating a command. I'm going to copy this p.play and put it on top because we first want to do something and then we want Alan to say it. So we can copy this now and paste it below. Below, we're going to say make it light, change mode to light, and then we can say something like, let's do, my eyes hurt. And let's do something like, looks good though. There we go, just to give it some character. Now let's save it, and let's try saying these things to Alan. Make it dark.
Batman likes this, I hope you will as well.
And as you can see, Alan said something, but also initiated this command. And this is the code that we can read from our code. So now let's connect Alan with our React application. We can do that by going to Integrations, Web, and we'll need this API key. So let's copy it. If we scroll down, you'll even see that we have React examples. So let's click React, and we have a class component and also functional component example. We already installed Allen at the start, and the only thing we have to do now is copy these lines. So let's copy one by one. First, we're going to copy import Allen, and we're going to do that inside of a new component. So components, Allen won't have any styles, so we can simply create a new file on the source folder called allen.jsx. And inside of here, before we paste this, we can run rafce, and just below importing React, we can import Allen button. Then we can go back and copy this line, which is the entire use effect. Now right here at the top, we can import our use effect, or rather not import, just put it here, and import use effect from React. Great. Now we already have some starting point. This here is going to be our Allen AI key. And inside of here, let's try to read our command for changing out the mode. So basically right here, we're getting our command data. We can destructure that and then take in our command from here and also take the mode. In here, we can create an if statement and say if command is triple equal to, that's going to be change mode. In that case, we can do something. More specifically, we can have another if and check if mode is triple equal to light. In that case, we need to change our theme to light, else we need to change our mode to dark. So how can we do that? Well, how did we do it before? We can simply import our set mode from our context. So at the top, we can say import color mode context. That's coming from // utils and then toggle color mode. We can import the use context from React. And then at the top, we can say const. We can get the set mode from our context, and that's equal to use context color mode context. Now that we have this set mode, that's just a basic state, so we can call it here and here. And if mode is light, we can change the mode to light, else change the mode to dark. Great. Now, one interesting thing is that Allen is not going to be a component. It's actually going to be a custom hook that we're going to create. So right here, we can say use Allen. And at the bottom, we can export default use Allen. Our Allen won't return anything because it's just a custom hook that's calling this use effect. So with that, we can go inside of our app, and right here, we can import our Allen. We can say import use Allen, and that's coming from /Allen. Now you might be asking yourself, how do we call a hook? Well, we do it like this. Use Allen. There we go. That's the only thing you have to do. Well, we also have to connect it to a button of sorts. So we're going to create a use ref hook. At the top, we can say use ref. And we can create the Allen button container ref by saying const Allen button or Allen btn container is equal to use ref. And then finally, just below everything, more specifically below this main, we can simply say div, a self-closing div, that's going to have a ref equal to Allen btn container. We simply need to attach it to the DOM, and we're doing that here and calling it straight here as a hook that's then gonna execute this code. Now let's go ahead and save it and test it out. I'm going to go to our localhost 3000 and reload the page. And as soon as you reload the page, Allen button is going to appear on the bottom right corner. Let's see if he can actually change the mode. Make it light.
Ah, my eyes hurt. Looks good though.
There we go. It actually changed the mode. Let's try with make it dark.
Batman likes this. I hope you will as well.
Great. That's extremely good. Did you see how simple it was to implement that? We created a new project on Alan AI, added just a few lines of code right here, and immediately we connected it to our React application and made it interact with it to make some changes. Great. Now, these are the two simplest commands because it's basically like toggling a switch, on or off. Our other commands are going to be just a bit tougher, but again, it's extremely easy considering how cool this makes our application look. Now that we've implemented the change mode functionality using Alan, let me just quickly repeat how did we do it. Inside of our Alan console, we have two different intents that Alan is listening to, make it dark and make it light. As soon as we say this, Alan goes into this block of code. Then we send a command called change mode, including the mode equal to dark. That code is then transformed right here inside of this Alan btn, more specifically inside of the onCommand handler. There we get access to our command and the mode. So we can just check if command is equal to change mode, and if mode is equal to light, then set the mode to light, else set the mode to dark. It's as simple as that. Great. The starting functionality using Alan AI is now implemented. In the next lecture, we're going to add just a few more methods.